What's going on? What's going on? All right, I'm back. I'm a week late, but um, but I'm back here with 90 days with T Berry. All right, so I missed last week. I had a lot going on, so this is week. I think it's week 6. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about week 6. I think tonight is week 7, so I got to do that podcast. But yeah, let's get into it. So I do this in order of the couples on the show. So I just do their whole, like, I know it goes to them 2, 3 times. I just do their whole thing in one shot. So let's start with Eve and Mohamed. So, all right. So first and foremost, Eve comes through with the dress with a booty out. She got a G-string on and it's showing, and so Muhammad had a problem with that. And like the way I see it, I think anybody would have had a problem with that. Like, you going out with your dude, you don't need to be out there like that now. He told her to put a jacket on. She was cool with it though. She was cool with it when got it done. But for her to even come out and try to do it in the first place was kind of off. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. That happened. They end up going out to meet her friends, the squad, they already heard a whole lot of things about him. So, they want to question him, want to make him. It almost seemed like they want to belittle him because he wasn't understanding the culture out here. So, the first thing he said was, he sits down at the table and the females got, their boobs out or whatever. And I don't think they was doing that for any particular reason. You saw how your girl was dressed before she left the house. So, I don't think they was doing that for any particular reason. Females out here like to show off them things. So, it's normal. It's normal. I didn't see nothing wrong with what they had on. Um, but then they start questioning. And they want to know if he was like a virgin before um, he met Eve and all these sexual questions, putting him in a situation. I think that was kind of, I don't know, I think that was kind of foul because, you know, that's not his culture to discuss stuff like that. They want to know if he watch pornos. That ain't his culture to discuss stuff like that. So you got to be respectful of this person's culture, this man's culture, because he's respectful of yours. He wasn't going out there talking stuff, talking about what they should be doing. He was just like, this is what I do. And so I think I think their mission was to bring him here and then turn him out, which ain't good. That's not cool. Um, Let me see. So they get into it about a bikini. Um, he's sitting there talking about he would never let his girl wear no bikini. Even though when he met her, he saw her picture online and she was wearing a bikini. Um, over here again, a bikini ain't no big deal. Over there, it's a huge deal. So, if old girl want to wear bikinis, why didn't you just mess with a dude from out here who don't mind? But you messing with a dude from out there who got a big problem with it. As soon as you got here, or as soon as you knew he was coming here, you throw away all your little clothes and all this stuff because he was coming because you want to change for him. But so don't put him out there at the table acting like, oh, you know, I'm being unfairly treated. You picked him. You moved him out here. You sponsored him to come out here. It ain't that easy to get somebody to come out here. And you sponsored him to come out here only so you can sit up here and say, I want to do something different. And that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. So she feels like he's judging him. And he is. That's his culture. You picked him because you wanna be a part of his culture, or you want him to be a part of yours. But I feel like Muslim religion, or that religion, it isn't very. Um, there's not a lot of leeway on what they can and can't do. So I feel like you picked wrong, basically. If you wanted to pick somebody who was going to be more open and more open minded and willing to work with you, you picked wrong. So they get into it in the van, and he talking about, you want to pick a bikini or me. My advice was pick the bikini. Pick the bikini. If that's what you want, if you want to be yourself, pick the bikini. Don't pick him. He willing to go back to Egypt. He willing to do his thing. Pick yourself. Be yourself. Be who you want to be. Because picking him is going to mean that you're going to have to make a lot of changes. And they showed the preview on next week's or today's episode, and he taking her to the mosque trying to get her changed, and that's not gonna work. That's not cool, unless that's what you want. But if you want to continue to wear bikinis, have your ass out, do all that stuff, ain't nothing wrong with it. But you pick wrong, because he not gonna feel that. You know what I'm saying? And in the week that I didn't do a podcast, she was in the house with a dude putting the bidet in because he wanted the bidet. He telling her, you can't be in the room or you can't be in the house even with another man in that house. So, it's just all part of his culture. So if that's what you want to live, if those are the standards you want to live under, then you good. But if you feel that something's wrong with that, then you're gonna need to bounce. And I mean, that's my opinion. So now we get into Guillermo and Kara. So Guillermo and Kara, this was my couple that I picked to make it, but it don't look like they're making it. So he picked her up, or they went to her high school reunion, and she's a balloon. I don't know what you call it. Balloon artist. She makes these balloon creations, and so she included him in the family business. Um, my suggestion to Guillermo is find your own lane and get your own your own business, because she is very controlling of hers, and she lets you know this is hers. So while they're putting the balloon wall or whatever together, he got some suggestions, and he want to sit up here and tell her what he feels will look better, but she not trying to hear it because that's hers, and you kind of stepping into what is her arena and trying to make changes when she didn't ask you to. She didn't ask for any changes. She didn't ask. She only brought you along because y'all together now, and you don't do nothing. So she brought you along so that you can see what she does. But like I said, like if it was me, I would pick my own lane. I would be like, all right, I'm about to get a job. I'm about to do this over here. You do that over there. That way, you're not gonna get frustrated with how controlling she is and how she wants things done her way. And it's only because she's been doing it her way from the beginning. If y'all had started together and grew this business together, then you would have an equal amount of say so. But she's not the person who likes to be a team player. She wants to do it on her own, or do it on her own accord. So yeah. So they have the school reunion, and she got her ex-boyfriend, um, pretty boy turned rapper, who is there, and he seems like a cool cat, real cool cat. Sits down and lets her know, or lets Guillermo know that old girl is controlling, and if you want to sit back and be nice and meek, you're not gonna make it, because she gonna run the whole situation. One thing he tells her is, you gotta say no. If you want to have your own 2 feet, if you want to be on your own 2 feet, you gotta say no. You can't say yes all the time, because she's gonna expect yes all the time. And I feel that's very true. You gotta, what they say, if you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. I feel like, I know myself, I'm pretty easy with a lot of things, But when it's something that I believe in or something that I don't want to do, then it's gonna be no, and that's it. It ain't gonna be nothing else to it. It's just no. And she doesn't seem to like that. She doesn't seem to like you suggesting anything, and she definitely doesn't like a no. And so he told her, "You're gonna have to do that." Um, he also told her the reason why they broke up is because she cheated on him, and that was a big deal. So the only reason I could see it being a big deal is if she told him something different. Like if she told him, "Oh no, I never cheated on anyone before," and now you coming to find out, "Oh yeah, yeah, I did cheat," and then she gonna talk about, "Well, she honestly forgot." Well, no, you didn't forget. You knew. You know, I feel like a lot of times people, I'm not gonna call out females or males, but people like to make themselves sound good, and by doing so, a lot of times they lying. And in this situation, she talking about she forgot. She didn't forget. And so he asked her if she had cheated any other times, and she talking about, well, yeah, like twice when I was like 17. That's a lie. Because every time it come up, oh, I forgot about this one. I forgot about this one. Ain't no telling how many times this girl done cheated. And that's fine. As long as she ain't cheating on Guillermo. She could have cheated on every dude she was with. As long as she ain't cheating on Guillermo. I mean, that's how I look at it. But some people look at it as once a cheater, always a cheater. And you could be passing up, or you could be blocking your blessings thinking that way because, you might meet a dude or a female who who ain't on that no more. You know what I'm saying? We all done did some things in our past. So yeah, don't block your blessings like that. So yeah, they go through the reunion and things, they kind of work out. You know what I'm saying? They just kind of leave it to be continued. All right, so now we get into Jibri and Miona. Um, so Jibri takes her to see his grandma. His grandma is a lot more open minded than his mom is. His grandma seems real cool, and she real cool with Miona, but she does see that Miona doesn't want to work with the situation. She didn't want to be in wherever they from, North Carolina, not North Carolina, North Dakota. She don't want to be out there. She don't like the farm. She don't like the easy living, the quiet living. She don't like that. She want to be in the city. She want to be by the beach. She want to be in LA. And um, Jabri is letting her know, like, we need to slow down because we need to get this money together. Now, for any of y'all who know, California, not just LA, but you could pick San Diego, you could pick San Francisco, anywhere in California, it's going to be expensive. So you're not coming out there broke and then you're going to make it. Your chances are slim to none, if any. So, he's saying before we make that move, let's stack this money, let's get right, and then we go out there with our money right. His parents is letting him stay in their house until they feel like leaving, really. And not a lot of people have that opportunity. So he wants to do it the right way, but she's not feeling it. So if you recall last podcast, I talked about how the moms was telling her, you can't wear these certain outfits in the house. So Miona didn't like that. Now, it's never said that she did wear those outfits in the house, but the mom seen her on her social media, and she be half naked all the time. And so the mom, knowing that she got a man in the house, a husband, she don't want this woman that's half her age, perky, bouncing around her husband. And it's her house, so she can make the rules. So it is what it is. If you don't like it, then get your money up and go to wherever the hell you want to go, really. But don't sit up here and complain. Or you can complain, but, You can do her one better and roll out. So she got a problem with it. She tells her grandma. The grandma's just like, this is a conservative state, and she don't want you put in a bad light with the community or at the house. So I don't know if it came off better from the grandma than it did from the mom, but she kind of took to that better. But she still is just like, we need to get our own place. Um, so let's see. Uh, so Jibri, he ends up wanting to, he wants to go to Chicago uh, to get with the rest of his band to do to finish their album. And so he wants to go to Chicago because that's where the band is, and that's where his best friend David is, and get this album taken care of so they can get some money and put them in a good position. She feels like everything she wants, which all she really is asking for is to move to LA and have this beach wedding, um, gets trumped by everything that Jabri wants. And so, to me, again, like, if they wasn't ready for this, then she should have stayed in Serbia because she didn't have to come over here, and she's putting a whole lot of stress on Jabri because he's just trying to make everything good. But it's hard when you got, your family pulling you one way, you got, your girl pulling you another way. So, he bit off a lot more than he could chew with this situation. So, she kind of gives him an ultimatum. Like, if we go to Chicago for you to finish this album, first off, she can't guarantee that she's going to get along with David. She said if David disrespects her, then she ain't never going to try again. Secondly, if we go to Chicago so you can finish this album, then we're doing a beach wedding. So I just don't feel that that's fair, only because where's the money coming from? If we don't got money to do this, how are we going to do this? Just because you want to do it? That ain't going to work. So you're putting them in a real bad situation, and I don't know. I might have sent her back. I've been like, how about this? Once my album gets done, once I get this money up, then and I'm in LA, then I'll send for you. Until then, you stay in Serbia because it's just too much. All right, so now we go to Emily and Kobe. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but it seemed like every time the camera get cut on, Emily start breastfeeding. Like, what's up with that? Like, you don't have to all the time. I'm not here to tell you what times you need to, but um, you are on TV. You're on TV, and every like I said, every time she in a scene, she breastfeeding this grown ass baby, and I don't know. It seemed like a lot. It's a lot for Kobe though. So we stick to the script, and for Kobe, he's not feeling that. He felt like, hey, if you're gonna breastfeed, why don't you go in the other room? You ain't gotta just pop your titty out at the table and start breastfeeding while we're eating and all that stuff. Like you can go to the room. I mean, you pump milk. Why don't you give him a bottle? Like, why is it? I don't know. And then she looking at it like, well, when he's done nursing, well, if you don't stop him or wane him off of it, he never gonna be done nursing. He gonna be sitting around here 17 years old, still trying to pop a titty in his mouth. You need to do something about that. So I feel like the she exemplifies the word helicopter mom because she is always watching over him. Now I get the fact that she's been doing the mom thing for the whole 17 months the baby been alive. But you sent for this man because you want the man to be a part of the life, part of your child's life and a part of your life. So you gotta let him do that. You can't sit here and tell him he can't do anything he wants to do, and it must be everything you want him to do. Like, that's not cool. Because he could have just stayed in Africa if that was the case. But yeah. So her my way or the highway thing, that's only gonna leave her by herself because he don't have to marry you. You don't have to be there. You don't have to do anything. You know, he came out here because he wanted to, but you're gonna sit here and drive him away. You know, he always gonna be that baby daddy, but that don't he don't have to be your husband. And you definitely are not giving him anything to make him want to fill that role. But yeah, so he wants to drive a car. Kobe wants to drive the car, and she doesn't want him driving her car. First time in the States with the baby in the car. I don't know. That's whatever. I think they just bickering. That's whatever. He doesn't liking that, but you know he's still mad because the first night he in town with his son, he don't get to sleep in the bed because she feels like the baby won't ever sleep with him in the bed with them, and like he gonna be taking care of the baby all day anyway. So if, like he could have took the baby over into the other bed or whatever, but I don't know. She just seems to be too much, too much. So she has to go to work, and this is Kobe's first time getting to watch the kid or watch his son, and he's excited about that. But then you got Emily's mom kind of hovering over, like, oh, I feel like he doesn't know how to take care of this kids this age, and um, but you gotta let him. You gotta let him. He ain't gonna put the kid in no bad situation, not on purpose anyway. Nobody would, to sit here and say like uh, he's gonna do something intentionally to hurt the kid is, I don't know. That's just to me, it's bogus. And there's moms who have had kids who fallen and hurt themselves. You don't sit there and look at the mom like you let the kid hurt themselves or you made the kid hurt themselves. Like stuff happens. They kids, and so I would be afraid of that. Like anything bad happening when the kid is in, Kobe's, possession or whatever, because she's gonna blame you and she's gonna sit there and make you feel horrible. But yet when she does it, you can't say anything. So you just have to watch out with her. I don't think things are gonna work out too well with them because of Emily and her attitude. She's just very entitled, very entitled. And so there was another thing. So when Kobe is watching his son, he has some food from Africa. He wants to to show his son some of his culture because his son is part of that culture. His son is, half dad, half the mom. So the son is African, and he wants to share some of that African culture with his son. And I feel like you picked the wrong woman to want that with because I don't see her wanting anything more than what she knows. And what she knows is how she was raised in her culture. And what she also knows is the last 17 months, there hasn't been anything African in that house since before he got there. So she doesn't know how to be open with that, and she doesn't know how to let go and let him teach her son, things about his culture. So he tried to give the baby some ground nuts, which to me sound like some peanuts from Africa, and she wasn't with that. She wasn't with that at all. And honestly, it seemed like the only thing she want to feed this baby is titty, and that's weird. But I don't know. So she freaks out and is just like, no, he doesn't want ground nuts. Oh, she just bogus. All right, now let's get to Ari and Binyam. So Ari and Binyam, they're here in the States. They They had some misunderstandings. I feel like Ari is a high stress person. I feel like she needs to have like a lot of stress. Like she's gonna make everything a stressful situation. So she has this apartment that her mom is paying for. She has this baby and all this stuff, but she doesn't have a job, and neither does Binion. Binion got an excuse. He's not married. He don't got a green card. He can't get a job, but she can, and she's still looking at him. So they have a dinner plan for her, um, her and Binion with her parents, and the parents and the siblings have a lot of questions to ask Binion because they know that Ari and Binion are known to have these big fallout arguments, and then they get back together, and so they're just like, "What are y'all doing still together?" Um, Binion talks to his sister. The sisters joke, about how before they left, one of the sisters took wine on Ari's face, and they still not feeling her, and they want him to come back home. And I get it. I understand. Like everybody around them sees that they are no good together, and everybody, Benjamin's family wants him back with his family, and Ari just she doesn't want him. She doesn't want, or Ari's family doesn't want her with him. But the only thing driving this relationship is their kid, their son. So he's gonna stick around as long as the son is in the picture. So they end up meeting the family. One thing I feel um, is really not good for Binyam is the fact that he doesn't speak fluent English. So where he thinks he might be explaining himself a certain way, it's not coming out the same way. So, he can talk himself into a corner and not even know it. And make him and Ari look bad. But he doesn't know any better. And she does. So she could speak up for him, but she doesn't. So they ask him questions about like when they were arguing, what they were arguing for. Because when he went back, or when Ari came to the States for the son, because he had I think he had a hernia, and so she brought him to the States so they could do the procedure. They would argue a lot over the I don't know, FaceTime or whatever. And then the sister pointed out when she would be in Egypt, or when Ari was in Egypt and she would talk to the sister, that Benjamin was never around. So one thing I see there that's a problem is she includes her family in a lot of the things or the dysfunction that goes on with Benjamin. So of course they're gonna have opinions. They're gonna have their own way they feel about him because to them he a bad guy. He doing all this and that to you. He bogus. Why are you still with him? So when she turns around and it's like, oh, Benjamin's great and all that, the family still ain't over it yet. And that's something common. It's common in families. It's common in relationships. So they ask him, what his intentions are here as far as getting a job and working and stuff. And his dream is to be in the UFC and basically get paid that way. But he slips up and he says, even if me and Ari don't work, she can still sign my green card. And I don't know how he meant that, but that's how he said it, and that's how they took it. So now it sounds like Benjamin is here in the States just to get a green card and then hit the streets. And so that's not a good look. You could have saved that for after the green card. But so now the family is concerned that, this might be all done for the wrong reasons. So that one right there, that one's going to get. And if you saw the preview, Ari trying to go off on one of these females who he's working out with. Um, that's gonna be interesting. All right, and the last couple, Bilal and Shaeeda. All right, so I don't really have much to say about them. Based on this episode here, it looks like things are starting to come together. He takes her out on a little romantic gondola ride, and they sit and talk like adults. Um, he's not lecturing her; she's not lecturing him. She's telling her how she feels about him and how things are starting to work, and I like it. I like it. The biggest thing the biggest hurdle that they have to overcome is the fact that she wants kids, and they kind of allude to the fact that he said he wanted kids earlier on when they were dating, I guess, or when he was in Trinidad and Tobago, but now his feelings may have changed. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that she acted so crazy when she got in, when she first flew into the States, and he put her up in his childhood home, and the way she acted there. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel like that might have a lot of reason to do with why he's acting the way he's acting. Like, once you have a child with a person, now you have this forever bond with that person. So even when y'all fall out, you still got to be there for the kid. And um, if you can, if you can see that it's not gonna work 100% before you have the kid, then it's better to not even go that route. And so I think that's more or less where he's looking at it. Like if we're not there yet, then why go through this? Why try to have a baby just so we can, because he already got a baby mom. So why do this again? So I think that's a good look. Once they get married, or if they get married, then that's something that's more of a conversation. But right now, they're still trying to fill each other out, fill their situations out, and and I feel like that discussion might be better later down the road. But that's it. So that was 90 Days with T Berry. Um, if you have any I don't know, if you have anything that you may look at differently than the way I look at it, I'm more than willing for discussion. I love discussion. So yeah, check out my other channels, Tash Talks Tech and Go or Cali Hustle 619. And yeah, I'll see you at the next episode.